Hey girlies, it's Tara.
And it's Lissy, your favourite FaceTime besties. Well, we better be anyway.
Obviously. Welcome to an episode of Navigating Your 20s with us. We hope you enjoy.
And just a reminder, girls, we are absolutely not trained experts.
We are just girlies too, so don't take anything we say as gospel.
So I'm thinking, let's just try and figure out this whole 20s thing together. What do you think, Tara?
I think that's what we're basically doing every day together, babes. So let's get straight into it.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Yay! I'm so excited. It's weird because I literally just woke up, but I'm ready. I'm ready to get into it.
I know it's so weird in the morning to start speaking to you. I'm literally like, so when's she going to wake up then?
To be fair, I woke up at 5 and I thought, nah, I just don't need to be up right now.
I woke up at 5:55 today. It was sunny outside. I was like, oh my God, it was so nice.
Like the sun rises at like 6:30 here. So
Right.
That is quite late, but it's still like light because of the moon and the mountains. I don't know how to describe it. It's the weirdest thing, guys, but it's beautiful.
Kind of
And
eerie.
the sun sets quite late too already, so I'm driving.
Yeah, see, the sun still doesn't go that late right now. I think the clocks are about to change, actually. Me and George asked Google. So the clocks are going back. Literally, like this morning. That's so random. Because we were like, it must be coming up soon, and it's this Sunday.
Oh, I wonder if is this a dumb question if I ask, like, do Americans put the clocks backwards too?
I don't actually know, so I'm not sure if that's dumb. I feel like that is a dumb question, but I actually can't answer it, so I'm
But then
unsure.
I feel like I saw somebody say something about, like, Americans not. I don't know. I'll look into it. Anyway,
You look into that.
Tell me about your week. Fill me in while I have my cup of coffee.
My week. What have I even done this week? I mean, honestly, like, it's not been that thrilling. It's been like a bit of a boring week. I was just saying to you earlier, wasn't I? I've literally been so freaking tired this week. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Do you know what I really do find is I either have like a really energetic week or I have like a really non-energetic week. And this week's been just like seriously unenergetic. Like, I just can't be arsed. Like, I wake up and I'm like, ugh. But I got my blood test done on Saturday, I think it was.
Oh my
And
God, how was that?
it was, do you know what actually pisses me off is I get so worked up about blood tests and I do not know why. Like, I was freaking out. I literally said to George the night before, I was like, you're going to have to come with me. I think also it didn't help that it wasn't in my usual surgery.
Where did you go?
Basically like this community like centre. I called up the surgery and I was like, I need to book in bloods. And they were like, we're fully booked. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do about that?
Well,
yeah. And they were like, literally. And they go, well, our April schedule hasn't come out yet and we're fully booked for March. So I went, okay. So again, what do you want me to do about that? Because I need to book in for tests. They were like, oh, we can send you to this community centre. So I was like, okay, fine. Anyway. So then I was like, the night before, I was like, you know, when you just look up somewhere on Google Maps and you're like, fuck, like that just looks confusing to get to. Like, I just don't understand how I'm going to find my way. So I was like freaking out. And then like the morning of, I was like, all right, I'm just going to call up and cancel. And then I was like, literally get a grip. I was like, get a grip. I was like,
I didn't want to say that, but I was like, Lizzie.
I was like, if I cancel now, I'm literally just going to have to go through this all over again. And like, just go and get it done. And I went and it was actually incredible. I got there 20 minutes early and they saw me 10 minutes early.
Stunning.
I know.
Did George come with you?
No, I went by myself. George had a football match. Classic.
Oh God, what's new?
So yeah, and it literally was over and done with in like 2 minutes. And I was like, what was the big fuss about, you know? But anyway, that's as far as my week goes. Really thrilling, really exciting, not.
Wow. Well, you know what? I'm glad you're not doing anything fun. Guys, anytime Lucy puts anything on her story, I'm like, what are you doing that without me? I like anytime when I saw you live together, I was like, okay, stop posting that you're having fun. Like, this is not. Liv put up about a bagel as well, and I was like, absolutely, how dare you? Like, go get a bagel without me.
Who did she go there with? It wasn't me or Duty.
I was like, how dare you go get a bagel without me? And she was like, how dare you move across the world? I was like, yeah,
that's
valid. I was like, yeah, I'll just shut up now. How has my week been? We obviously saw more hockey because what else do we do? I honestly, guys, have just been reading before I had to get back to reality. I finished the third book in the series and it killed me, and I'm waiting for Liv to finish it because I told her it was sad and she lost her shit at me because apparently that's a spoiler. She was like, she said, sorry, what I said, it's sad. And the thing is, it's all over TikTok. She was like, you've just ruined this for me. I was like, I have not.
I was like, have you spoken to Tara recently? And she goes, well, I actually had a huge go at her because she ruined the book for me.
Anyway, I'm just reading, shopping. We had a barbecue night because it's hot here. I went for a walk around the lake.
Oh my God, barbecue. That is so fun. I love
I
barbecue.
know. I was like, it's been great weather here. I'm not really doing anything but hanging out with my niece and nephew this week. Like, I took
It's
last
so
week to really be
nice,
with my
though.
family. And then this week I actually have to sort out my life. I'm just having so much fun, so I don't want to go.
But I think it's nice to just take a break, just like a bit of downtime for a bit. Do you know what I mean? It was always the plan to do this anyway. Do you need to book your flight and then you just have a date and set in stone?
Don't make me do that. You sound like my father.
Well, don't then. I'm a bit like, can you get to New York so that I can come? Like, selfish reasons, but like, can you actually just wrap up the whole Colorado trip?
Yeah, so sorry about that.
Oh
Sorry,
God, I
guys, we're
dyed my
rambling.
eyebrows today.
Your thing is kind of blurry, so I can't really see. It's like this every time. It turns out clear when I download it, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. But either way, I dyed them because I was actually a bit scared. Well, I wasn't scared. I was scared actually.
Scared to dye your eyebrows?
Because I used to always dye my eyebrows. And then the other day I was like, my eyebrows are kind of like, where I always tan my face, I feel like my eyebrows have gone like a little bit ginger. It's like this morning I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to dye my eyebrows. And I put it on and they were just getting darker and darker. And I was like, shit, get it off. And I don't know how I feel about it yet. Like, I feel like they're still a little bit dark, but I feel like maybe in like a few days' time I'll actually really like them. So anyway, I'm going to start
like
dyeing.
the look of them. I mean, you're a little blurry, but like I like the look of them. They don't look anything like I didn't look when you joined the call and think anything.
Yes, that's good. And actually I did ask George, I mean classic boys, I was like, what's different about me? And he goes,
Oh, Lissy, come on. You cannot set him up for that. Like, there is just no way
he was looking at my
realize
feet.
that.
I was like, no, up a bit. Staring at my feet. I was like, no, to do with the face.
No, sorry, George. Where are the men in Colorado?
Oh, we can discuss the hot topics of the week.
What? I don't know what either of those are.
What?
So you take it away, honey.
Oh my God. So Maura Higgins and Danny Jones. Did you watch I'm a Celeb?
No.
So they were on I'm a Celeb together, and Danny Jones is from what's the band?
I saw something about him being married.
Yeah, so he's married and got a kid. I can't actually, like, the name of this band has gone straight out of my head, and it's actually embarrassing that I don't know this. So, oh well. I'm sure everyone listening right now will know exactly what I'm talking about, but I just can't remember. Anyway, classic me. This guy was on I'm a Celeb with Maura Higgins. They went to the Brit Awards. He's married with a child, and someone filmed them kissing. How wild is that?
Sorry, also to like do that, as like celebrities in a place where there's a bunch of people.
Literally,
like,
this was what I was
dumb.
thinking. Like, this was what I was
You're
thinking.
So
I was
dumb.
like, do you expect not to be caught?
Bad enough to like cheat in the privacy of your home, but like, god damn it, to do it at like an awards ceremony.
I know. So like, I just feel
also
so
like
bad.
Wait, is this like mean? Am I gonna get canceled if I say that he's like not cute?
No, I don't think that's bad.
Okay, like it's not like he's.
No,
guys, don't cancel me. We all have types.
No, he's not exactly like. Do you know what I mean? He gives me dad energy. Like, he gives me dad.
He's like not
vibes.
like Zac Efron. Like, I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Also, just ew to anybody who ruins a marriage.
I know, not great. So that's number one. And then number two, where I'm like, oh my God, Sam Thompson and Zara McDermott broken up.
I think Liv said this, but like, do we know for sure?
Yes, we do know for sure, because I don't know if they've put out a statement, but Zoe saw Sam on Raya. He's back on those dating apps.
God, that's fast.
I know.
My ex moved on fast too, guys. What you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
That's men for you.
They were the hot topics of the week. I just thought, I don't know why, but I'm just like really invested in both of those things.
All right, guys. Well, this will be a new edition. Lizzie will find the celeb gossip and let me know, because I am so out of the loop. Anyway, guys, I'm so sorry.
The topic this week is Boys. All things boys.
Guys, let's kick it off with love languages because we are big love language girlies. I feel like it's kind of the same vibe as like manifesting. I know that doesn't really make sense, but like, you know
No,
what
I
I
get
like? I
that.
feel like it's like the same aura of like if I said to somebody that I manifest that doesn't believe in manifesting, I bet they don't believe in love languages.
Yes, that's actually kind of true. Yeah. I've only really recently discovered love languages though. When I say recently, I mean like the past like 2 or 3 years. Like before
So
then,
not
I
recent
didn't.
then.
Well, depends how recent is.
Wow, yeah, that's up to interpretation. You're so right, girl. Sorry, keep going.
But yeah, I think, what are the love languages? So we've got acts of service,
Words of affirmation,
words of affirmation,
quality
touch.
time.
Like,
Yeah,
what's
physical
that then?
touch.
Yeah, physical touch, quality
Physical touch,
time.
quality time, and gifts, like giving.
Gifts. Gifts are a big one
Yeah.
for me.
Why doesn't that surprise me? Do
I
you want
love a
to
good old
discuss
gift.
you and George's love languages, if you know his?
I think I do know his. I think his. We actually like had a few discussions about it before. I think gifts is definitely one of mine, and I also think I've realised acts of service is huge. George is definitely, the way he gives love is through acts of service, and I noticed that I actually really appreciate it. Like if I'm ever stressed or like really busy, he'll always try and be like, is there anything I can do to, so that you don't have to do it, if that makes sense? Like, is there anything that I can sort of help with, even with like the
podcast.
podcast. Like he was
cry.
like, let me research this so you can focus on that, like let me do that. So wherever he can help, he will try and help, and I actually really do appreciate that, which I didn't necessarily think was a big thing for me, but I think it is.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that was yours either.
No, and I don't think I would say it was mine, but now that, like, if I think back, like that's something I really do appreciate, and if he didn't do that, I would be like, come on, help.
Yeah. I get that.
He said his is definitely words of affirmation, which I was actually,
Oh,
yeah, I was like,
I feel like most
okay,
boys are
love
physical
you.
touch. The other
He did
morning when
say,
he left and like you wouldn't say goodbye to him and he's there like, bitch, like it's words of
he was like,
affirmation.
yeah, he was like, I could die today, say I love you. I was like, okay, love you. He did also say physical touch, which I feel like, I guess physical touch and words of affirmation, like that kind of makes sense for boys.
I feel like physical touch is like a really big boys one because like it's just like I feel like boys are just like touchy and like I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think acts of service makes sense because I think boys like to feel. Sorry, the dogs are barking. I think the babysitter's here. I think boys like to feel like they're like manly and helping.
Yes. No, I get you.
Like I really feel like that's a big thing. Like guys like to feel like they're like helping. Like I had one of my friends, I won't call her out on the pod, who used to like literally do these things when her boyfriend was like at work, but when he was there she'd be like, oh, like I can't do it, and he'd be like, oh babe, like don't worry, like what are you gonna do when I'm not at work, or like when I'm at work? But it made him feel good, and she was like, I know it makes him feel good. And it was like stuff like opening like jars and like stuff, and she's like literally so strong, so when he's gone she's like doing it all herself, but like it's like little things like that, and she lives with him, and then like it makes him feel good. And I was like, she was like, is that bad?
Fair
I was
enough.
like, I don't think so.
No, I don't
I was like,
think
you
so.
know what he needs to feel good, so
Yeah, absolutely. Also, like that's the whole point of living together, is you help each other when you can. It doesn't mean you're relying on them. Like you can do, it's like, well, George doesn't enjoy doing this, but like, for example, the bins. I could do the bins myself if I wanted to, but I ain't doing that job. Like that's his job. I'm like, that's the only thing you have to do. I'd literally do everything else. I'm like, you can take the bins out. He doesn't enjoy it, but I'm like, I don't care. That's your job.
one of my ex, one of his was quality time. So like,
yeah,
because I had so many friends. Because I had like so many friends and activities, and I was like working and then Instagram, and like I was just always busy.
Yeah.
I would struggle to like be off my phone and like be at home. So one of his was quality time, and I feel like a lot of guys like are like that, especially when their girlfriend like is someone who's on their phone a lot or like always with their friends. Like when they're home, they want them home.
Do you know what? That is a really, really good point, because I would say that's probably not so much now, but like when me and George first moved in together, that was definitely a massive, it wasn't an issue, but like that was something we bickered over a lot, because I would sit there on my phone and like with content creation, like you're always just doing, so there's always something to do, there's always something to scroll through, there's always something to do on your phone. And like I was in such a bad habit of just always sitting on my phone and doing stuff, and he was like, can we actually just like spend a nice evening together? And I was like, yeah, fair point.
But it's also you.
I know.
Like you also are like, Lissy cannot sit still. Like
I'm so
she
bad.
cannot just sit and like relax. So
I'm like,
I have
what
no
next?
doubt that was driving George crazy. He's trying to have a date night and you're like, I'm just gonna like link this one thing, and then suddenly you make like a whole diagram of like your most worn jeans of the past 10 years in like the half an hour you're sat there. Like I have no doubt that I'll be sat there with Lizzie and like we'll literally have shot and we're on the tube and she's like already editing the pic and I'm like, girl, we shot this like 5 minutes ago. Relax.
Honestly, like although it's a perk, it is also bad. Like I just can't not do anything. Even this afternoon, like after we've recorded this, I was like, so what am I gonna do? I was like, maybe I should link a few things. Oh, maybe I should do this. I'm like, babe, just fucking sit down and shut up. Do you know what I mean? No, but do you know what I think now, because I have more time, like when I was nannying, obviously I was so struck for time. Like I was running to pick up the kids and then I was running to edit this and then I was shooting, going to an event, like left, right and bloody centre. Whereas now I can actually like work in the work days. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I do go over in the evenings. Like last night I was editing.
There's absolutely no way you don't edit in the evening. Don't you lie to this podcast.
But it is better. It's better. That's what I'm trying to say. It's better.
Yeah, well, snaps for Lissy, guys. I am proud of her.
But
a
what are your
leopard
love
can't change
languages?
its spots. Oh yeah, I forgot.
I know. I was like, I need to know yours.
What are mine? Words don't mean anything to me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, no. Like, you can tell me you love me, but like, do you actually? Like, show me. I think people can use pretty words, but like, I think anyone can turn around. Any guy can turn around and say like, love you, like you're the light of my life. Like, no, like shut up. I want you to prove it.
Okay, girl.
And I think
we're being so savage in this, like, shut up.
I'm like, somebody love me, please. I'm so single. I've got the giggles today, guys. I don't know what's going on.
I do feel like I'm a little bit delirious as well. I'm a bit like...
me too. Gifts are not one of mine. Like, I wouldn't say it's one of mine. I love gifts, but I wouldn't say it's one of mine because like I don't want gifts all the time. But like I would say a caveat of that is that when it is like my birthday or Christmas, like I don't care how much money you spend. It could literally be like $20, £20, whatever. But like I want to know that you got this gift because you know me.
Yeah,
so like
I would agree.
Feel like I'm also super vocal about like what I like. I obviously do Instagram as well. Like I'm always showing people what I like. And like if I'm shopping with you, like with my ex, I used to always be shopping with him. And like we'd go to the shops and it was just very obvious what I liked. So, and also I'm very sentimental. People know that about me, know I'm very emotional. I would much prefer something that shows that you know me and you love me as opposed to like a big grand gesture. So like but that's more on my birthday and Christmas. So I wouldn't really say that's like an axe. I would maybe say mine is
what about a bunch of flowers? I love a bunch of flowers.
Yeah, but like I do like that, but like I wouldn't say that's what I need to feel loved. That's like a cute, like if he came home with a bunch of flowers, like one random Monday, I'd be like, oh my god, you're so adorable, I adore you. And like my ex would do that. He'd bring me a bunch of flowers and like a Diet Coke, which is like literally like my love language, but it wasn't like what I needed. I think for me, it's definitely acts of service, and I think this is one of the things, like my ex was good at this, but like I feel like he wasn't immediate with the acts of service. Like if I ask you to do the dishes and I've done everything else, just do the dishes.
Oh,
like
that would piss me off.
Don't like sit there for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, no.
And then do them, because so that's like one of the things that used to drive me mental. Like, don't sit there on the PlayStation talking to your friends. You go into the damn kitchen and you do those dishes.
Yeah, absolutely, babe. And also, I think if you have to ask, it doesn't mean anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if I'm asking you, then like that doesn't mean you're actively trying. Like, I'm not your fucking mum. I don't want to ask you to fucking clear away. Like, just do it.
No, this is literally me. And like, I feel like because like I worked from home most of the time and my ex was at work, like he'd come home and fair enough be tired, but I was like, I haven't been sat here. Like, I'm not sat here all day. I'm working. I'm just not in an office. Like, he had to be, because he's a recruiter, he had to be in an office every day. So I was like, I found like the splitting of tasks, and we'll get into that and why it's important when you live together. But like, I just couldn't, like, it just annoyed the crap out of me. And I realized how much acts of service were a big deal to me. Like, if I'm exhausted, also when it's like my time of the month, pick up an extra little bit of slack. I'm a
Get that
girl who
Hoover out,
gets,
honey.
yeah, I'm like, get that Hoover, lick that floor clean. Because I genuinely get the worst Mother Natures. And you know this about me. Like, I genuinely, guys, I die when I'm on Mother Nature. Like, it's really bad. Every woman in my family is like this. And like, it takes me a lot to do anything. And I just needed like the guy I was living with to like step up. And like, my ex was good. Like, he'd run me a bath and like, he'd like put like candles on the bed and like set up my TV. So part of the time was because he wanted to play PlayStation. That's one thing I will not be allowing in a new relationship. You will not be playing PlayStation, please, Lord.
Do you know what? I really do find I find the PlayStation an ick.
Yeah, me too. We're gonna get into icks, guys.
There.
So let's pin that. Yeah. And we'll discuss that in the icks because that is so one of mine now. Sorry, this is gonna be like really offensive. This is an offensive episode. Sorry, guys. But I learned a lot from my last relationship. Amazing guy. I just learned what annoys me.
Yeah. That's what
so I would
are
say
for, babe.
Mine service. And weirdly, I would say physical touch.
Okay. No, like, I don't think that's weird.
Quality time, I'm not that bothered about. Like, yes, let's have a date night, but like, I didn't mind when my ex was there wanting to watch like something and I was doing stuff on my phone like that, because we're still together. Like, it didn't bother me. Yes, every once in a while I wanted to have like a date night where we went out and keep the romance alive. But for me, it was like, I want to feel like you fancy me.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to literally fancy the pants off me. Like, I want you to look at me and be like, this girl is the most stunning girl ever. And I feel like I get that through like physical touch, like, which my ex was really good at. Like, I feel like it was always like hand on the waist, holding hand, like arm around me, kissing, like just a very physical person.
Yeah. I love a holding hand. I love it.
Yeah, like a little, and just like a little on the waist, you know, when you're talking to someone and they're like hands just on your like, I'm like, oh. So yeah, acts of service and physical touch, guys. But
love that.
I think it also depends on the relationship, the length of the relationship.
Yeah.
What stage you guys are in.
I do love, I actually love a word as well. Like, if I've like dressed up for the evening, like, tell me I look nice, you know?
Babe, you look beautiful.
Thanks.
I'm gonna start texting you words of affirmation in the morning. You are the apple of my eye, the bestest friend a girl can have. Is so actually probably one of yours, because like, maybe it's one of mine because we write each other such intense cards.
Maybe that's like a best friend thing, not like a relationship thing.
We're not in a relationship?
Oh, we can.
Guys, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Hang on a minute.
I'm finding out. I feel lied to.
Oh,
what is wrong with us today?
I don't know.
That can go on to, okay, we're going to get into, because me and Lissy have both been in it, and we might have to split this boy talk into 2 episodes, guys, because we're rambling. Yeah. But we wanted to discuss, like, when is the right time to move in with a boy, kind of how to navigate moving in with, like, a boy, and then also, like, what it's like living with a boy, and like, what are the issues, what are the good, what are the bad, like, what do you need to sort out? Because we've both been in long-term relationships. Lissy's obviously still in hers. Obviously, I'm not in mine.
Just to put it out there in case
just
you forgot.
To remind. And hers worked, and living with mine didn't. So I feel like we have 2 good sides. And I think there's a lot of things that can ruin a relationship by living together that like could be easily fixed as well.
I think you definitely do learn a lot when you live with one another. When it comes to when it's right to moving in with a boy, I don't think you can necessarily pinpoint a time. I think it's what feels right in your relationship. Like, you know, I know people who have moved in after a year. I know people who've moved in 6 months. I think my sister and her partner moved in together like really early on.
But, and they're engaged, guys.
And they worked, and that's great. I mean, look, if I could have chosen, I would have moved in with George sooner, but I didn't quite have that choice in my hands, so I didn't.
I think it's definitely like relationships like specific, but I said to one of my friends who was considering moving in with a boy, and she wasn't sure. I said, ask yourself, are you done living with your friends? Because if you move in with this boy, it is likely that if you guys stay together, obviously it doesn't always work.
That's forever.
But if you stay together, that's forever, and you're probably never going to live with your friends again. So ask yourself, have you lived with like your girls, or if you like to live alone, have you done enough of that to feel like you're not going to have any regrets.
Mm-hmm.
And then also like make sure that you guys are on the same field of like what you can afford relatively, or you're happy with like an arrangement around it. Like make sure you're just like everything aligns in that way. Like you can live where you want to live and you're done living with other people, is what I said to my friend. Because I was like, I think you don't realize that like it's so exciting moving with a boy, but if this is your husband, like that's forever, and like you're done with the girls.
No, for
Not
sure.
as a
And
bad thing,
also,
but
no, but I do agree. And also, it's kind of, I think actually discussing like like you said, the finance situation with your partner before you move in,
yeah,
just so you both know where each other are at, like what you can kind of afford, how you're going to work out your finances, because every relationship is incredibly different, and you know you've got to
and
find,
jobs are different. Like you don't
yeah,
know the salaries of things, and like you got to think about all the bills. Also, like, you should discuss like, do you both want furnished, unfurnished? Like, how much does like furniture cost? And I definitely found this with my ex. Like, money can become an issue, and it can become a resentment thing.
yes,
So I feel like you need to really make sure that side of it is okay before you move in. Is my
100%,
advice.
100%. And then how would you advise someone when they are living with a partner?
Oh, don't listen to anything from me, guys. It didn't work. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I don't know what's gotten into me today. I feel quite giddy. Um, I would say the biggest thing is kind of what we were touching on earlier, is like figure out what your chores are. I know like you shouldn't say like what your chores are, but like no. You're basically living with like a parent again, but you're not.
Mm,
Figure out what your chores are, because if you guys don't feel like you're doing equal amounts, I feel like that is where resentment comes in, and like that's where people get annoyed and you bicker over the small things. Whereas if you can, like, one of my friends literally made a chore chart with her boyfriend and like made it fun and put stickers on it when they both did their chores,
oh my
and
God,
like
that is hilarious.
when they did everything all week, they went out for a date night.
Oh, that is
And I thought
quite
that's actually like
sweet.
really cute, because I get it. Like sometimes like boys will be like, I don't remember. So she basically put it on the fridge so he like knew every day what he had to do, because he'd be like, I just don't remember. He's like, it's not in a bad way. He's like, I'm just busy. So she put
Yeah.
it on the fridge, and then they put little stickers. And then at the end of the week, they were like, okay, well, we did everything and like we feel great. So they went on a date. But I would say that is like my biggest thing. You need to figure out what you hate doing, what you
Mm-hmm.
loved, what you don't mind doing. Like relate that to your partner. What does he hate doing? He or she, what does they hate doing? What do they love doing? And like meet in the middle so that there's no room to bicker.
100%. I also find that like it's how you are as well. Like I'm personally a bit of a control freak. Like I would rather like deep clean the whole flat myself, and like
Yeah,
honestly George, like just don't even try and participate, because you're not going to do it right, and therefore I'm going to have to go back and do it. Like you cleaning that surface is not clean enough, so I'm just going to have to go and re-clean it. So I actually personally I prefer doing it myself. He is a good washer upper, and actually that's something I hate doing. He washes up almost every night, and like thank God, to be honest, because I hate washing up.
yeah.
He does the bins. To be honest, he will put a wash on and then he'll forget that it's in there, so then it will just go moldy for the next day. So the washing kind of stays
Love
to
that.
me.
No, but I think you love cleaning, so like that's
I
different.
do.
I think
Yeah,
also like you love doing like your little deep cleans when he's like at a football game or like
I
whatever,
do.
whereas not everybody does. And like if you're like Lissy, great, your life's probably gonna be a little bit easier. But if you're like me and you want to split it with somebody, it's you gotta
I think that's
discuss.
the thing, isn't it? You've got to kind of realize what each other are happy with. Like I'm actually very happy doing that, so therefore like
Yeah,
it's fine. But if you're not happy doing that, then you need to have a chat about it, because otherwise, like you said, you do end up bickering about it, and you don't
yeah,
want that coming between you, because something like that is just so stupid and pathetic. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like
agree.
bickering over who's doing the fucking dishes. Also, with all due respect, after a long day at work, that's the last thing you want to be doing, is bickering about that. So living with someone can, and I've spoken to a lot of friends about this, and I think everyone is in the same boat, where when you live with someone, and I think this relates to friends as well, when you're living with someone, you feel as though that you don't necessarily need to do something with them special, because you're living
The
with them.
lulls.
You're seeing them every day. So you think, oh, we don't need to do this because I see you every day. But actually, living your day-to-day life with someone, that's not doing something like really special. That's not like going on a date night. So I actually, and I got this from you, is going on date nights. Like, you've got to book it in and you've got to do it, because they are the fun activities where you kind of like connect again. Don't get me wrong. I love sitting on the sofa, eating dinner with George and watching TV and just chilling like every evening. But there is something really, really lovely about going out and doing something, going out for lunch, going on a walk, or whatever it is, like an activity. And I think doing date nights is so, so important when you live with someone, and even with your friends.
I agree.
Organising to actually do something special with your friends. Because
Yeah.
I also think sometimes when you live with someone, not so much me because I'm here a lot, but you can sometimes be always in passing.
Yeah.
And you're never actually like necessarily having quality time with that person. Like, say if you're working late and you know your partner isn't, then you might not have dinner together, or
and you literally might see them in like the morning for like a minute having a cup of coffee, and then they're out the door.
Literally. And therefore you're just constantly in passing. So I think actually organising specific date nights, even if it's just, you know, a next Friday evening or whatever it is, putting it in the calendar and just doing something, I think is really, really important.
I agree. I also think you can make it cheap. Like, I did both date nights in the house and out of the house, but we also did live together alone. I think it's different when like you live with like your friends and your boyfriend's coming over. It's like harder to do a date night, but we did some like activity date nights at home. Like, we made homemade sushi and things like that. But we also did love to go out. It just depended, you know, you're like the last few days before payday and you're like, probably shouldn't go out for like a 3-star Michelin meal right now. But I feel like it's like the act of that, to remind yourself that like you guys are like romantically seeing each other. Because I said, me and my ex had this discussion where it's like, sometimes if you let it go too far down the line, it sometimes feels like you're roommates as opposed to romantic partners, and that's what you want to avoid. However, it is completely normal for there to be lulls. Like, there is completely normal for like it to be a stressful month. Maybe your partner's gutting for a promotion at work, or you're gutting for a promotion, or you got some bad news, or you're just going through a not feeling so great about yourself month. Whatever it is, like, it is very normal. And me and my friends, you, other girls like who live with their partners, we've all discussed this. It is so normal to have like just a month where like it's just like you guys don't really have a lot of time for each other.
Yeah.
But it's about making sure that that doesn't become a habit, and like flagging it to your partner if you're feeling it, because they might just be so busy that they're not even realizing it. And like, you just don't want to let it go to like a couple months of really being in that.
100%. And also communication's key, like communicating it with your partner, because it's not a bad thing that you're in a lull. Like, I feel like it's got quite a negative view, like, oh, like, you know, but everyone doesn't feel connected to their partner at some point in a relationship, and that is okay. It's relaying it and sorting it out and working on it so that you get back to where you were before. Me and George actually did a date night the other day, and we did painting by numbers, and it was so fun.
Do you want to explain what you painted?
So I painted.
Guys, I have the most ridiculous best friend in the entire world. Like, I cannot express to you how ridiculous she is.
So I saw these paintings. Sorry, I'm just moving you because I'm literally in the sun and I'm absolutely sweating. I was looking through these paintings and I was like, which one shall I paint? Anyway, I saw this giraffe blowing a bubble, and I was like, that's kind of cool. They didn't have on this specific website, because we needed it to come within the next 48 hours. On this specific website, they didn't have like really like cool like abstract kind of ones, because they wouldn't come in time. So I was like looking through the ones which would come in time, because we wanted to do it that Friday. Anyway, saw this giraffe blowing the bubble, and I was like, where would I put that? And I was thinking, oh my god, I know. I'll paint this for my kid's bedroom.
No, guys, she literally was like, we're doing a paint and like paint night, and we're going to put them in our kids' bedroom. They don't have kids. Lissy is not pregnant, to clarify, just so people don't think she's pregnant after this episode. And she was like, yeah, for like our kids' room. And I was like, pardon? I think you said it in front of me and Judy. And me and Judy were literally stood there. We were like...
No, Judy literally looked at me like she had seen a devil to me. She was like, what the fuck are you going on about? And actually, it was quite handy because George chose like a safari theme one as well. And I was like, oh my God,
so
our
now
kids'
the
bedroom
room's gonna be safari.
Can be safari themed. And they'll be like, Mom, that's a really cool painting. And I'll be like, yeah, I painted it for you, babe.
I cannot deal with you. So guys, yeah, if you're feeling a lull, just do a paint and sip night for your
It was
future
actually,
kids if you
it
don't
was
already
really
have
fun.
kids.
Yeah, if you can't decide the painting, then think about what the kid will want.
What would the kid want?
Literally.
WWKW. No, I feel like, yeah, guys, living with a boy is not easy. And I think also, another thing about living with a boy, let me tell you something, is do not neglect your friends.
No. Well, we kind of spoke about this, didn't we, in the last one?
In the other one. But I feel like living with a boy, it can like you get so consumed in it, and like your weekends become about them, especially if like you don't see each other during the week and like whatever. But like make sure that your whole weekends aren't becoming about each other, because also you don't really have the chance to miss each other. You then aren't nurturing your friendships, and like I just don't think it's like I definitely at some points when I was feeling low would just spend the whole weekend with my boyfriend. And like I think you get a different type of high from like your friends and a different type of high from a relationship. And I always found it actually really healthy when I'd go out on the weekends, see my girls for like lunch, and then come home and have a date night with my ex, and I'd feel really like buzzed by all my cup being filled by all the different people in my life. So I would say like that's something to consider when you're living with someone.
Definitely. Also, I think it's a really good point to make about missing someone. I think it's really, really healthy to miss someone, because that's what makes it exciting about seeing them again.
Yeah,
and also
I
do just think, well, I'm kind of lucky in the fact that sounds kind of bad being like lucky, but George plays football. I'm so lucky. George plays football. George plays football every Saturday. And because he has that activity, I always find that Saturday is like either a me day or a girls' day. And then Sunday is the day that we spend together, or we do like a Saturday night date night, or we do like a Friday night date night. But I feel like that's just how our routine goes. And I actually kind of love it, because I do quite like having my Saturdays to like see the girls, or, you know, because seeing your friends during the week, again, it's just different to the weekend, because people have work, they're tired. Like the energy is just different on a Saturday.
Hey man, I love a Saturday. I'm a big Saturday gal. I love a Saturday. There's something about waking up on a Saturday.
Oh, it feels so good. And I actually do love a Friday. I really do love a Friday. And weirdly, I actually up there with one of my favorite days is a Monday.
I love a Monday too. I do like
fresh
a fresh start.
Yeah. New start. Oh my God, you're feeling good. Also, like, you're refreshed from the weekend. You're like, let's go.
I do think like, okay, me and my ex, this is what we did. It doesn't not gonna work for everyone, but if we knew we were gonna have a busy few weekends where like, because he was from up north and he wanted to go up north, or he wanted to see friends, or I had birthdays, you know, you always have that month where like all your friends are having birthdays in 1 month. We would do our Friday as like the stand-in date night. So we would just assume that Friday night, me and him were going to do something. Whether it's like we met after work. If we were tired, we'd meet after work at like maybe a pub and have a few glasses if it was sunny, or go to a fire, like sit by a fire in a pub in the winter, like just something to get us out of the house. If we weren't able to have like a huge proper date night because we're just so busy, it's one of those months, it's close to Christmas where there's a million parties, like we would put Friday as like the little stand-in just for a couple hours to even just get out and do something together and catch each other up on our weeks. And I feel like that really made me feel connected to him. Like we used to go to that pub, you know, the one down the end of my road.
Yes.
And just sit out there and like have a glass of wine and like catch up about our week.
It's just having quality time where you actually speak to one another, see how they are, see how their week has been, like catch up with them. Like it's so important to like actually just speak.
Agree. And like a lot happens in a week, and I also just don't think like you're always gonna have the time for a proper date night. Like you don't want to miss out on their week.
No, I do know what you mean. It's a weird like adjustment, and I think it takes a while to actually adjust. But if you think about it, like depending on your circumstance, but like me and George, we went from being long distance, seeing each other every 2 to 3 weeks, where every time you would see each other, you're so excited because you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. Like, we're going to have the best weekend. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do all these fun things, to then seeing each other every day, which is really fun. But they're also just kind of, you're not doing all of these exciting things whenever you see each other. You're just seeing each other every single day, which, don't get me wrong, is lovely, but it is just different. Like you go from only seeing them doing like the really exciting things to then kind of living with them and doing the boring things and fun things. But you just kind of like combine your lives. Do you know what I mean? And like you said, the whole chore thing can get in the way. Oh my God, the bloody cupboards. Fucking hell. Still going on about this. Every fucking day. Opens the cupboards, doesn't close them. Who doesn't close a cupboard? He even opens the fridge and doesn't close the fucking fridge.
Okay. George,
close the fridge!
Have some decorum. George, have some decorum.
Every door he opens, he just doesn't close it. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I don't want to stare at the fucking spices when I'm trying to watch the bloody TV. Close the fucking cupboard door. I swear.
Amen. Amen. Time is it? It's FaceTime Therapist.
FaceTime Therapist. Do, 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 do.
I haven't looked at these ones. Yeah.
Ready? My broke boyfriend doesn't want to have sex with me, but will happily pay other women for it. I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years, and the other night I read through his phone and found messages on WhatsApp to him messaging several numbers asking them, how soon can you get here? After further inspection, I realised he was messaging prostitutes. I don't know how to bring this up to him as I don't want him knowing I've gone through his phone, but also I can't not say anything. Another thing to add is that we haven't had sex for 4 months now because every time I try, he pushes me away. Please help. Thank you in advance.
No, I am so not okay with this. First of all, lulls are normal, but your partner should not be pushing you away. And if he is, he should be communicating why.
Yeah, 4 months as well. I think that is
a lull is normal where you're like, you don't have the time to make the effort with each other. But if you're trying with your partner and they're pushing you away, like you deserve way better than that.
Yeah, like if someone started pushing me off, I'd literally be like, do you fucking mind?
Like, no, I'm like so not okay with that part. The other part, I don't think you should even care if he finds out you went through his phone. Like that is so not okay on so many levels, and like you have every right to confront him. I don't care how that you went through his phone. Like normally, yeah, that's not maybe the best thing to do, but you obviously had a gut feeling, and look what you found with your gut feeling. That is dangerous to you. If he's sleeping with these prostitutes and then ends up sleeping with you, like you don't know like the
that's
sexual health of them. That's like your women's sexual health, and like some sexual STDs can like. Not that that would happen, but like if it did, like some can cause real issues for women. Like I think that is so unfair and so not okay.
Also, the going through the phone part, like that, if anything, like that is nothing compared to what he's doing. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Like that is, to be quite frank, like the least of his worries. Well, it should be anyway. Like that compared to what he's doing is like just not even like on the same comparison.
I agree. I think you have like normally I wouldn't say like go through your boyfriend's phone, but like you obviously had a feeling, and I just think he's obviously being an absolute asshole. You have every right to confront him.
But also, I'm not being funny, but like that's fucking cheating. Like that is literally cheating. Like you would rather pay another woman than to sleep with the girl who sat right in front of you. Like that's actually fucked up.
I also just think like you need to think like do you want to be with this person and find it out, because like that's like a complete breach of your trust. That's a complete breach of like the foundation you've built. Like
it's also I think disrespectful.
It's awful. I really think like you should think like, do I even like you deserve way better is my opinion.
I just think,
and
it's
I think you should
grim,
confront
to be
it.
honest. It's grim. Like it's actually disgusting behavior.
And like also like what could have happened if I think the reason I'm mad is like what could have happened if you hadn't found out.
Yeah.
Like I just think he obviously doesn't care about you in the way you deserve if he's willing to put you in that position, and I think you should confront him. And then I never want to say like leave a relationship, but I personally think you are not treated the way you should be in a relationship if that's the situation.
I completely agree. Like I think definitely 100% confront him. Like he needs to be called out on that behavior, because that's just actually fucking disgusting and so disrespectful. And two, like obviously it's your relationship, you know what's best, but like, I would be fucking out of there before you fucking knew it, to be quite frank. Like, that is so just unacceptable. Like,
if you're not married with, like, kids, it sucks, but it's easy to walk away. Like, it's not easy, but, like, you're not going to co-parent. You don't have to go through a divorce. Like,
get out
leave.
once you can, babe. Get out once you can. Because also, you need to think about yourself. Like, think about your worth. Like, do you think that you're worth that? Because I can tell you right now, no one is worth that, to be honest. So, like, that's just no.
And you know what? I think also just like would you let your friend be treated that way?
So
like,
true.
What would you say to your friend if they were being treated that way. Like,
Yeah.
you would obviously say, like, that is unacceptable, get out. Like, I think it's sometimes hard when you're in the relationship because it's like, you love this person, like, it's hard, but I really think my advice in this would be confront and get out.
100%.
Like, you do not deserve to be spending your life with somebody that treats you that way.
Absolutely not. Also, like, yeah, no, like, there's just not even a question about it. Like, I think get out whilst you can, say goodbye. He doesn't fucking deserve you, to be quite frank. He doesn't deserve anyone at this point. Like, see you later, goodbye. Bigger and better fish in the sea, babe.
Amen. That's really awful, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's shit.
Men
Like,
absolutely suck, and
do you know
I hope
what?
that you get Prince Charming after this because you deserve it, girl.
Some men stink. Like, they actually stink. Like, I'm like,
no, I'm just like, how dare you do that to your girlfriend? Like, are you actually tapped?
How can you even think that that is acceptable? Do you know what I mean?
Like, what goes through your head? How do you wake up? How do you go to sleep? Love to know. How do you live with yourself?
It's mental behaviour. Anyway, juicy secret this week's episode is...
Hit me. Oh god, I'm scared. I actually haven't read this week's ones, guys, so this is quite fun.
Okay, I kissed my boyfriend's twin by accident, and now I'm not 100% sure I'm with the right one. Sorry, but that is the funniest.
Hey, guys,
like, what? How do you deal with that?
I'm sorry, but I wish I had a little more information to go up here. Like, how did you accidentally kiss the
No, fully. This is all we've got. I guess because it's not like a situation. It's like the juicy secret. Like, I kissed my boyfriend's twin. Like,
guys, I must know more. I must. You can't drop these lore secrets on us and not explain. Like,
how did that happen?
That must know. Like, do they fancy you? Like, did they want to be with you? Like, is that why they kissed you? Like, did they pretend? Did they pretend to be your boyfriend or girlfriend?
Like, were you drunk?
Was it dark?
Many questions.
I'm sorry. We're gonna have to put a story up and be like, whoever left that juicy secret, actually, I'm gonna need more information. Like, how do you accidentally kiss?
No, literally. I mean, I'm assuming the twins are identical. I would hope. I would hope and pray, because if they were,
why do you think it's not the right one? Like,
was the kiss that sensational that you think you're with the wrong twin?
Was it better? Do you like the personality better? I haven't. I'm eating this up. I'm like, wait.
Maybe it's been like an ongoing thing where they've like kind of been like getting on and flirting, and then they finally kissed, and she was like, "Hang on a minute, sparks are flying."
Well, you definitely have a type, girl.
Yeah,
oh boy,
that's true.
You definitely have a type. Wow. Okay, wild. That is absolutely wild. That is a great juicy secret. Should I feel like said I would share a secret, and I don't want to. I said I would share secrets too, so give me a second to think of something I can share.
Okay.
But like, what can I share without giving stuff away?
Die.
Okay, we share it out of the podcast. Thank God I'm editing this one. Really hard to say it without like getting people in trouble.
I know.
Right, guys, I'll give you a little tidbit. I have to be careful. We've really been trying to figure out what tidbits I can give right now, but I feel like maybe like 6 episodes in, I'll drop some of the lore of my ex and then my weird situation that happened in December. But I gotta ease into that. I don't want to get canceled just yet by the people that were involved. So I did I'm never gonna see them again. Well, one I will, but the rest I'm like, when am I gonna see you? Screw it.
True.
But a little juicy tidbit into Tara's life. Tara went for drinks with somebody that Tara knew when she was 15, 14, that she used to really be involved with. And she went a whole night out and reconnected. And they may or may not live in the city she's moving to. And she got quite drunk and had a great time. That's all I'm going to say. She also did spill a margarita. She did spill a margarita all over her lap, which was quite mortifying when this said person tried to kiss her. She just panicked because she wasn't prepared. It really came out of the woodwork.
The last time they kissed was when you were 15.
Don't say I'm scared. But anyway, guys, it just goes to show what comes around goes around. And if you think it might be the end of you and somebody, it could come back 12 years later.
True that.
And,
True right. Too
Yeah,
right.
who knows where that will lead? I'll keep you updated if any rendezvous of spicy margaritas. Give me a couple more episodes and I can really drop the deep lore of other juicy secrets, but I'm also, some of them might get my friends mad at me, but like, it's okay. It's part of the podcast. You can't be mad at me, guys, because it's part of the podcast.
It's true. I did also get a swift reminder from George to say to the group, everyone give a 5-star rating, because apparently 5-star ratings boost the podcast.
Sorry, I actually love him. I love him so much.
He goes, you've only got one 5-star rating, and that was from me, so you might want to say that on the pod.
George! Oh my god, but like, valid. Guys, why aren't you leaving us 5 stars? To our friends out there, like, like, you suck.
Come on, give us some 5 stars.
I'm gonna put that on my close friend stories. My friends suck.
But anyway, well, we know the topic for next week is going to be exes. So
what you learned from your exes, how it brings you into the dating world.
But I can't wait to discuss my ex. I don't really think do you even know about my ex?
A little bit, but I'm excited to hear the full story. It's a podcast for me too, guys.
Okay, well, thank you so much for listening, and see you next Wednesday.
Amen. All right. See you next week, guys. Love
you. Love you lots. Bye.
Bye.